Hello. Today I'm going to talk about the philosophy when you know yourself, you know the world. When you're used to your own anger and you're used to managing it and you're used to observing yourself and you're used to seeing where things are coming from and you're starting to make these connections, you make those connections in other people. So a lot of times anger comes from a hurt place in us. Sometimes anger comes from a broken heart. It's our way of defending against the pain and the energetic soreness of a broken heart. I'll tell you a little story about a little interaction that I had with somebody. And this person had a little job to do and they failed to do it. They just simply forgot. Well, the job that they had to do could have had horrible ramifications if it had gone a day or two later. Like I caught it just in time where, nothing terrible happened, but it was a pretty serious thing. So when I said to this person, you didn't do such and such, their response was defensive. And it was, well, it hasn't been that long, it's really not that big of a deal. And I said, actually, it is a big deal. It could have resulted in, this over here. And his immediate response was anger. He got furious. Because I'm familiar with my own anger, I know that when somebody else is in the fury of it, unless you want to put on some gloves, it's better to just kind of wait till they get to a spot where they're more rational. Because you know what you're like when you're irrational. You know what you would say and you know what you would do. And you're not thinking clearly. That means they are not thinking clearly. So it would have been a tremendous waste of energy for me to go up against that anger because I'm not going to get anywhere and the only thing I'm doing is fueling that anger. So I stepped away. That person apologized, was like, okay, all right. But when I was thinking about, do I want to address this further, I really started to get in touch with the fact that that person's heart was actually broken. The thought of potentially something bad coming of their failure to do what they were supposed to do was devastating to them on the inside. Their heart was literally breaking. This person has a very big heart. And the defense was anger. Now, if I would have come up against it, that would have only given this person more fuel to stay angry, and then the anger would have been directed at me. So instead of them being able to, because I left the scene, instead of them being able to just apologize and then be with their hurt and learn from that, which is going to be a much more powerful lesson, if I would have butt up against that anger, they would have stayed in their anger. Then it would have been about me and how unreasonable I was being, because that's what the mind does. Remember, it plays tricks on us. So he would have just gone up into this negative thought loop about how unreasonable I was. I didn't give him any ammunition for that. Instead, because of my rational response to his irrational anger, he was forced to sit and be with it. And that is a much more powerful lesson. So as we learn about ourselves, we're also learning about others, and it helps in every aspect of life. So have fun with this.